Okay, welcome back to members of 121 Community Church in Grapevine, Texas, and our study in Plotinus. And we have finished our introduction. Now we are into the main text of the Enneads, and we shall begin with pages 33 to 59. And we're going to take a look at the One, and then the emanation of the Nous, intelligence, and then the emanation of the world soul. And that would be, in Christianity later, that became the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Father was the One, the Son was the Nous, the world soul was the Spirit. So Plotinus had a tremendous influence on Christianity, not just in the East and in the West, both. But that's why we're doing this study, because he was so influential. This is 3rd century, but it made a huge impact on Christianity. And so keep this in mind in this lesson, that the One is the Father, or will become the Father. The Nous will become the Son, and the world soul will become the Spirit when Christianity adopts this teaching of Plotinus. And he was picked up by Dionysius, the study we just finished. Let's go to block 1 and take a look at the concept of beauty, the concept of the One, which is beauty. Beauty is visualization of word patterns beyond mere sensate realm. We must rise above the sensate realm. And we must deal directly from perceiving within the soul, and to view reality as a composite whole. Beauty is envisioned composite whole. But beauty is drawn from something else. It's drawn from the beauty of intelligence and out of the soul's remembrance. So we're talking about out of the soul's remembrance. We discern the signs of kinship in reality behind the veil of finitude that all share in the same eidos idea. They are shaped by form, they are shaped by reason. We're talking about a unifying eidos idea. The sensate realm is informed by the intelligible realm, the divine intelligible realm, and it speaks to the self's inner soul, or the inner idea of the soul. And our work is we take multiplicity, we gather it together within the self into a holistic view of providence. So gathering together within the self, and then we present this to ourselves as oneness, a single essence expressed in diversity. A single essence expressed in diversity. We perceive it through the eye of the soul. We must declare ourselves by positing this perceived true reality that is behind the veil of finitude. We declare ourselves through positing this true reality. We posit the radiance of intelligence. We attain it by the idea and the purified idea in our soul. So we understand the soul as the purified idea, as the intelligible, through godlike theosis unification with the divine. And we discern beauty as the good. The One is the good. Beauty is the good. Within the solitude of the self, we discover this, where the divine becomes manifest. We invoke an entirely new manner of seeing. We see spiritually with the mind's eye that can contemplate the beauty of the One. It is through the contemplation of the mind's eye, the soul's eye, the mind's eye, that can contemplate the beauty of the One. But as we said in block 1, this beauty comes from somewhere else. It comes from above. And so we have to take a look at the first emanation in block 2, the emanation of the nous intelligence. Plotinus divides intelligence into nous and world soul. So they're both intelligence. They're both a divine intelligence, but the divine intelligence is a two-part. It's a two-part emanation. And it's a hierarchy. It goes from the one to the nous to the world soul. So block 2, emanation of the nous intelligence. Intelligence is emanated being, which contains all of the idea forms for existence, and it communicates them to the world soul. So nous and the world soul. The self begins with mere sensate impressions of finitude, but we must progress to seeing clearly the higher forms that are behind finitude. We seek to perceive the higher forms. The self begins with an innate philosophic bent. This is a presupposition of Plotinus that that's that image of God within humanity. We begin with an innate philosophic bent, activated to realize the beauty of the soul. The beauty of the soul. The multiplicity of existing things all participate in beauty by their inner form that shapes them. The divine wisdom informs the self, working within our soul, and so we achieve the wisdom of the soul. The divine nous draws us into the presence of the good, so we can recognize those traces of the good in reality as those that participate in the absolute unity. So we're looking at participation in the absolute unity. It is the essence of all existence. It is the seat of the ideas, the nous mind, the divine nous mind, to become the Son, because the Son is the creator, and that nous mind is the seat of the ideal forms. And the nous communicates these forms to the world soul, which will then communicate those forms to concrete existence, because the world soul provides existence, its patterns, its form patterns. The world soul. The nous is prior to the world soul, because the world soul is in the world. It is an emanation that penetrates the world. Therefore, intelligence contains both dunamis, potentiality, in the nous, and energy, actuality, in the world soul. We're talking about dunamis, potentiality, and energy, actuality. Every form within something imitates the form in the world soul. In the nous, the forms exist in themselves as the real, and then they go out of themselves in the world soul, and they become concrete in the things which they interpenetrate. So forms exist as transcendent and as incarnate. So remember our introduction, and I might even say remember our previous study in Pseudo-Dionysius, because that actually, that introduction that we had in Pseudo-Dionysius was, if you remember, it was the Neoplatonic view of Plotinus. And so we got some advanced teaching in our previous lesson. But that's why we understand that the beauty of the one first emanates nous mind, the divine nous mind, and that is Christ, who contains all the forms in themselves, in their purity. The world soul is the going out of themselves of the forms. They go out of themselves and they interpenetrate existence. They give form and pattern to existence. They shape existence into the form of providence. So let's go to block 3 and take a look at the emanation of the world soul intelligence. We looked at the beauty of the One in Block 1. We looked at the emanation of the Nous mind intelligence in Block 2. Now the emanation of the World Soul intelligence in Block 3. How do we perceive these form ideas? Through 3 steps. First, there is sensate impression, then reflective opinion, and then intelligible knowledge. Intelligible knowledge grasps an ideal form that already objectively exists. This is not just positing a form, it is objectively real forms that are recognized. We grasp the intelligible form ideas. The cosmos contains every form within it. From the world soul, it draws its modes of existing. The modes of existing, all forms come from above, from the archetype contained in the divine intelligence. Forms are from above. Perceptible reality shares in the essence of identity and in individual difference. We're talking about essence and existence. The soul contemplates the intelligible realm. There is a contact between the soul and the intelligible realm. Remember our introduction here. The divine intelligence derives nobility from the One, and then contains all of the archetypes of the forms within the Nous mind, but then that will inform the world soul, and the world soul is that which actually interpenetrates concrete existence. So we're looking at a hierarchy. This is the word hierarchy, which is a key concept for Plotinus. We have the hierarchy of the universal. Remember, it's the hierarchy of the universal. There's a universal stream, there's a particular stream. This lesson is about the hierarchy of the universal stream, which is the One, the Nous, the world soul. The One communicates through emanation to the Nous. The Nous, the divine Nous mind, contains all of the ideal forms. It communicates through emanation to the world soul. The world soul goes out of itself and interpenetrates concrete existence with these forms that now become patterns for existence to shape providence. So it's a tremendous lesson, pages 33 to 59, and it gives us, we almost need to go back. You need to go back. If you need, you can look it up and play it again, but you need to remember that introduction from Dionysius, because that was Plotinus. That was that composite for the 50-page introduction in Dionysius was a precise explanation of Plotinus and his Neoplatonic system. We had a good introduction for this manuscript also, but it didn't get in as much detail as our previous lesson with Dionysius. However, now that we're into the main text, we are immediately, remember, the Enneads means 9. We've already got 3 concepts here. 3 of the 9 have already been given in the very first lesson of the main manuscript. The One, the Nous, and the world soul. That's 3 concepts already that were given from page 33 to 59. The beauty of the One emanates a universal stream and a particular stream, and the universal stream is a 3-part stream. It includes the One, the Nous, the divine Nous mind, and the divine world soul, later to become Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Because the Son creates, and so the Son contains within himself all of the ideal forms for creation. That's going to wrap up pages 33 to 59. We have officially launched into the original manuscript now. We'll pick up next time on page 60, and we'll continue in the primary text.